What's up, everybody? Jeff Evely, the magnanimous Gen Xer male, back with you now on this 11th day of August 2025 for the first episode of Radical Candor podcast in been about a year, I think, a little over a year. And there's a lot going on out there. So I brought my old friend Daisy here, and we're going to go into everything that's going on right now, especially around these Nova Scotia wildfires. So if we have some new folks, and I imagine that we do, I used to do a podcast that I called the Radical Candor podcast up until about a year ago when I stepped back to really focus on some other legal battles that are still engaged. So I haven't quite gotten back to it yet, but man, it sure does feel good to be back. And I'm looking forward to talking to my bro, Daisy. Before I bring him in here, I'm going to go ahead and give you share screen here, and bear with me. It has been a while, folks. So let's make sure I don't commit my cardinal sin and forget to share my audio. No, we're good to go. Okay. So this is our philosophy quote for the day. For those of you who are new here, are going to know me from having done a video there last week where I went around the park near my house showing everybody this is the woods and this is not the woods, according to the Nova Scotia provincial government. And at the end of that video, I use this quote. This is Christopher Hitchens. I believe the jacket photo is from Letters to a Young Contrarian. And he says, quote, "The true essence of a dictatorship is in fact not its regularity, but its unpredictability and caprice. Those who live under it must never be able to relax, must never be quite sure if they have followed the rules correctly or not." And that's right about where we are now, isn't it? So we also like to open the show up with a meme. Somebody sent this to me today. Pretty great stuff. So here is Tyrant Timmy Houston from the government of Nova Scotia. This is, it's got their letterhead and all that stuff. And it says, "Provincial intimacy ban. Effective immediately, all forms of sexual activity, including kissing and hand-holding, are prohibited until November 1st to reduce the risk of seasonal hazards." Quote, "When Nova Scotians engage in physical intimacy, body heat and friction can increase the risk of wildfires, emotional instability, and even climate change. This is about keeping our communities safe," close quote. And that's from Tyrant Timmy himself. So the key guidelines here are no sexual activity within 100 meters of a tree, shrub, or patch of moss. Intercourse must take place in a fire-approved room with a bucket of water nearby. Self-love is permitted only from 2 to 3 a.m. for single residents. Drones equipped with heat-sensing cameras. Okay, I think it got cut off after that. But I think you guys get the idea. And thanks, everybody, for joining me. Without further ado, I'm going to bring my bro Daisy in here. Daisy, how you doing, brother? It has been a minute.
Hey, Jeff. Yeah, man, it's been quite a while, and it's been a wild few days for you, I'm sure. It's good to be back. I'm in the Ontario woods here, so I'm good to go for now. But it's awesome, and awesome to be back. And that's a good way to start things. A bit of mockery. We'll get to the serious stuff in a bit.
Yeah, no kidding. We always try to open things up with a joke around here, folks, because we got to maintain a sense of humor in all of this. Humor is a coping strategy for human beings. That was my first lesson of Afghanistan. So, even in those tense moments, I find it's quite therapeutic to kind of crack wise here and there. And the only thing blacker than Trudeau's heart is a soldier's humor. That's what I ran into when I first landed in Afghanistan. You wouldn't believe the things that fly out of soldiers' mouths, but people adjust to their circumstances. That's what's happening. And they do that by blowing off steam with a little bit of humor. So word to the wise. Okay, so today I was interviewed like all day long, nonstop. I think I would have to look at my calendar to remember everybody that I spoke with. But what I can tell you is that I was interviewed by CTV National, and they said that that's going to be on tonight. So keep an eye out for that. I don't have cable, so is it on YouTube or something? I haven't watched mainstream in decades.
Someone will clip it and share it for us, I'm sure.
Yes, please do, folks. Tag me in it or something like that. I can't wait to see it. I think it went well. Overall, I think the reception has been really positive. There are, the trolls that are out there, of course, but that's just part of it. And I found, like everybody that I dealt with, in terms of how they received me during the interviews, was really good. I've heard from Global News. I talked to them today. Apparently, I have an email from CBC in my inbox. I just got a heads up from one of my friends on that, so I got to go check that out, and we'll see what happens. I think
that's no small thing, really. Like I've seen you. I caught quite a few of your interviews. I caught you on Viva earlier. It was great, and I know I'm pretty sure Rebel was on that pretty much immediately, and the independent media has certainly been all over it. I've seen actually posts and stuff on X from England, all over the U.S. So I mean, the story seems to be going global at this point. But to hear that mainstream media is reaching out directly this fast is basically unheard of.
Yeah, you're telling me. I'm as shocked as you are. Like the Chronicle Herald in Halifax, they reached out.
Yeah.
I was interviewed by them, of course, alt media, independent media. It's been all over this, and like you said, Rebel got the scoop. I was really pleased that they reached out so fast. Ezra interviewed me there Friday night, that went really well. I thought it was really great. I put the tweet out right around the same time because he was showing my video of me getting the fine. And so I was actually, I put that video of me getting the fine together for that show. So it was like I had enough time to send it to him.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And do the interview. And then I posted it after the fact. So it was basically just like bang, bang, Rebel and then my X feed. So, yeah,
and it blew up fast. It blew up fast. I was kind of wondering too, and I mean, I'm someone who's a little bit familiar with I got stuff that goes viral fairly often. It's more stuff I'm covering than so much involved in. But I mean, seeing the numbers on that stuff, like the initial video you did, I thought was fantastic. The mockery and the comedy of it, and then the second one when you actually got the fine, I think you handled it about as good as these things could possibly be handled. It was a great example. And like, I mean, last time I saw one of those, it was over 3 million just on one of your posts alone, which is, I mean, almost unfathomable to me. How have you, like, I know you said you had a lot of interviews and stuff. How are you finding the roller coaster or the ride so far?
I'm just embracing the chaos, bro. I think it's a bit strange, I guess, but nowadays, it's like I need pressure to function, and I actually feel more normal in the chaos than I do on a regular day. Actually, I'm kind of enjoying it. It kind of feels like home,
I can relate a little bit to that too. I've learned to kind of thrive in chaos here, and sometimes that's where I'm most comfortable. It is also amazing to think that something like this is possible, right? So that you can take a stand. But we have the ability to have the reach to have a story go like this and reach the right people and really go viral on a worldwide stage. I know it's something I think about quite often, especially as my following got larger, and I've gotten a lot more serious about what I'm trying to do. But that's quite a responsibility. And I think the professionalism that you handled that fine and the whole way you went about it is really, really an important example to set. So I was glad to see that.
Oh, thanks, man. Thank you. And so, okay, let's, we were just talking about the videos. So here is the one that initially got the traction. This is, I posted this, when was this? Well, it says August 6th. So I think this was like the first day that the ban was in effect, and I was feeling pretty annoyed. And I knew what I had to do. I knew right away. So the thing is, I actually challenged the blanket woods ban in court back in 2023 during the Nova Scotia wildfires. Now, there wasn't a fire anywhere on Cape Breton Island where I live, but they banned us from the woods anyway. So I thought that was an overreach. And I submitted an application for judicial review, and the court declined to hear it, saying I couldn't stand on my charter rights alone. There had to be money involved, and since I wasn't harmed economically, I didn't have standing, so they dismissed it on the basis of standing. And so when they did it again this time, I was like, well, I know what I have to do to get this in front of a judge. I have to defy the ban. I have to get the ticket. So that's what I did, and the JCCF jumped in to offer me the legal support. I think they're great. They helped me out with my charges from the convoy as well, and looks like I'm going to be working with the same guy, Chris Fleury, and he's a great lawyer and awesome guy. So I'm really happy to be working with these guys again. And I'm not taking any money. I should have said that right off the bat. No money for me. If you want to help.
Yeah. Actually, now that you bring it up, we might as well just put that all to rest. You know, everyone calls you a grifter and all kinds of names and this and that. You've said, I know I might not talk to you regularly about this, but you said from the start, you're not doing any fundraising. So that is important for people to know too, because I did see a few pop up. Jeff isn't doing any fundraising. If you want to support Jeff, you can do so by supporting the JCCF. They also help, among Jeff's other cases, they're helping a ton of other people that are going through similar issues or being, finding themselves under the boot of the government. So just if you see something pop up, be mindful. And like Jeff said, he's not raising money.
Yeah, no, not at all. Give to the JCCF if you really want to help. And okay, so this is the initial video that I did. I was just kind of blowing off steam. Like I said, I wanted to explain a little bit about what led me to defy the ban in the first place with the background there. But at the time that the ban first came into effect, I was just like way too annoyed to go dealing with confrontation. So in recognition of the fact that I'm still just a man, I was like, I'm going to go blow off some steam. I'm going to take a couple of days and collect myself, and then I'm going to go and deal with that. So that's how we ended up where we are. But anyway, here's where it started. Hey everybody, Jeff Evely here. I'm in Petersfield Provincial Park in the most tyrannical province of Canada, which is Nova Scotia, with my fuzzy friend Axel, where we walk pretty much every single morning. And here you can see that this area is taped off because that trail is the woods. But this area is not taped off because that's not the woods. This area is taped off because that's the woods, and there is a sign here that says trail closed due to extreme fire hazard. So that is the woods. This area is not the woods. This area is the woods. This area is not the woods. This area is the woods. This area is not the woods. Okay, that part is particularly funny to me because I did not mean to hit myself in the face with the branch. It's just like, I was just so committed to my role as an
I don't know how you did this the first time, man. When I watched this the first time, I called you not long after I saw it, dude. I was in stitches for half the night, man. Oh man, it gets better. It only gets better.
Yeah, did I mean to do that? No. So that part is like the funniest part in the whole video for me. This area is the woods. This area is not the woods. This area is the woods. This area is not the woods. This is the woods. If we go in there, fires will start. Axel, come on. Come on, buddy. You're going to start a fire. Come on.
That part killed me.
That's a good boy. Come on, buddy. This area is not the woods. Right, buddy? Now, the first time the Tyrant Tim pulled this crap, this area was the woods, and there were pylons all across this trail, so I could not enter in 2023. But this is 2025, so it's not the woods. This area is the woods. And there's the quote.
There's our quote.
So
yeah, I think you definitely made the right decision to go out, and like that video was perfect. And you know, like I get what you mean. I didn't have to go through that same exact situation where I was locked down out of my woods before. But having already been through that and tried to fight it and being told that you have no, your rights don't exist because you didn't get a fight, like, man, I can only imagine how much you were steaming. And going out to do that and mocking it, which is often, like we say, such a great way to deal and come after these elites, was a perfect way to do it. And then it's set up perfectly then, right? You got that going. It went viral, and it set up perfectly for when you had to go in and it was all business.
Yeah, exactly. And really, I will say that when I did that video, like my primary purpose really was just to blow off some steam. I did not expect that it would take off like it did at all. Right now it's at about 876.7 thousand views. So not quite like viral, but 1 million views for viral is kind of an American standard too. So it's kind of like Canadian mega viral.
Yeah, I'll give it to you, man. I would give it to you.
Well, I know that you will, but you're not the one that we got to worry about these days.
Yeah.
Okay, so I did that, and that really took off, and that was great. And like I said, I took a couple of days to kind of collect myself and get ready for having to deal with the confrontation. Ultimately, is what it is between me and the forestry officers, the conservation officers, but they were good. I'll say that right off the bat. I mean, they were quite professional, I thought. And so what I did on the day is I called the Department of Natural Resources and I spoke to the supervisor and I told him what I was going to do and said I was coming down his office to do it. And I gave him the same background that I just gave you guys with respect to the judicial review that they dismissed in 2023. And he told me that he had guys coming on shift at 4 p.m. So I said, okay, I'll come down at 4 p.m. So I made myself an appointment to get this nearly $30,000 fine. And then I went down to the office and I talked to the guys. Again, I just explained my situation to them. And I tried to keep it, firm, fair, friendly, professional, all that stuff. I was pretty pleased with how it was received. Daisy, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of the same thought. And I mean, calling ahead too. And you went in such a way that, it wasn't, I shouldn't speak, but a lot of people accuse me of going, gotcha moments or whatever. You didn't do that at all, right? Like you made the right call. You called ahead. You were respectful, kept them, we don't need people personally attacking conservation officials or anybody else that's doing their job, right? This was all done, like you said, professional and planned. And I think because of the way you handled it is why it went up, went very well. It also means that's a bunch less vectors of attack, right? If you go in and you do this the right way, now that people, maybe they didn't know at the time, but now they know your previous history trying to fight these, it being declared moot, that you don't have standing because you're not in jail or fined enough, or you haven't been horribly aggrieved. So, all this stuff coming to light, it's all relevant, and it goes to show why you did it the way you did. And I mean, look at the reaction. It was held, done properly. And we'll watch it, and then maybe we can talk about it a bit more.
Yeah. All right. Check it out, guys. Hey, everybody. Jeff Evely here out in Nova Scotia on Mountain Road in Coxheath. And as you can see, it's literally called Mountain Road. I am on a mountain. Behind me, this is the woods. But over here, this is not the woods. This is the Department of Natural Resources, where the conservation officers work, who issue $25,000 fines for going in the woods. Good, so not bad. I'm Jeff Evely. I called earlier.
Evely?
Yeah, Evely. I spoke to somebody earlier.
Yep.
About the woods ban.
Yep.
And I understand that you guys issue $25,000 fines right now for anybody who goes in.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to go in the woods over here.
Yeah.
I don't want to make any trouble for you guys. Okay, I took this to court the last time they did it. They said I didn't have standing because I wasn't fined, so there was no money involved.
Okay.
So I want to challenge this order in court, and the only way for me to do that is to get the fine. So I'm not trying to make trouble for you guys. Okay, I just want a piece of Tim Houston, and I want to be as accommodating and nice as I can be. I'm just gonna.
Okay, so I'm ordering you to not.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I
That's
understand.
another.
Roger that.
Tell me doubling the fines right now.
Okay, that sounds good.
That's interesting.
All right. So he has to be in the woods.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a violation yet, so.
Well, they're very nearby. I thought instead of crossing the road, I would just go in the back here, just for safety purposes. And, we can do it like that. Does somebody want to follow me out there, or? Yeah, it would be good to do a witness. And if it's okay with you, I would like to record a video. If you don't want to be on camera, I can keep you off it. But I think that it's in the interest of justice that we provide a fulsome record for the court because of the precedent-centered nature of this case. So I can keep you off camera, keep your name out of it, all that stuff, whatever works for you. But
We'll be in court, so.
Yep, we'll be in court, so we might as well have a fulsome record, right?
We have to go in the woods. One or two
Yes.
steps.
Sure. You want to show me where the woods is out back here? Or right wherever you want.
We still have to suggest that they don't.
I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just ordered me. He said he's going to double my fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to defy that order, nothing personal.
Okay, so whatever happens after you leave here.
Yeah.
we'll-
Nothing personal.
We
Okay.
we got that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, one more time, this is the DNR office on Mountain Road in Coxheath, Nova Scotia, and this is not the woods. I understand. Yeah, he just ordered me.
Back
He said he's
here,
going to double my.
this is the woods. So I have a couple of conservation officers with me right now who are not on camera, but have advised me that if I go into the woods, if I defy their orders to go into the woods, then I will be fined. And they also said that they would double my fine to $50,000. So I'm going to walk down here and go into these woods. I don't know that there's a good spot to do this, but I'm just going to make this as painless as I can for those guys and go in here. And they have me on camera as well, walking in the woods. All right, isn't this great? And maybe there's an easier way out of here than I came in. Let's try this. We good? Okay. Okay. And I didn't ask, but did you write the ticket already, or?
Nope, we'll meet you back out front.
Back out front at the reception desk there? Okay, if I bring my camera, keep you guys off it?
Yep.
Okay. I'll see you in there, guys. Thank you. This is not the woods. Hi. I was just out back with the three gentlemen there. They said they would meet me back in here, so. She's got to get them.
So the order would have to go long form and
Okay.
put us off months in advance for court times. So
Okay.
we just do a SOT
Okay.
for entering the woods.
Yeah.
Without forest travel permit when proclamation is effect. You have a court plea date. Your due date is the 12th of September. So it's a lot quicker, just the ticket. So.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So this
Want to
is,
go that to make it quicker?
okay, so this is an SOT, and that is for summons to accuse. What is this?
Summary offense ticket.
Yeah.
For today's date. Your information, Forest Act 25 sub 1.
Uh-huh.
Fine is $28,872.50.
Okay. I thought it was 25,000. It's 28,870.
Court costs, victim fees.
Taxes.
Oh, victim fees.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. All right, thanks very much, gentlemen. I appreciate your courteous approach. Nice chatting with you. All right, take care. Oh, this is still not the woods. So here we go. Oh, I have the ticket here.
for, let's see if we can see that, $28,870.50 for victimizing somebody. Okay, so more to follow.
Okay. So,
Nice.
okay, before I go any further, I was just digging through some photos and stuff, guys. I got to say hi to Brendan here, Brendan Shea. He says, "Hey, Jeff, do you still have the red ensign I gave you in Ottawa? I just went off camera so I could go get it. Here's the red ensign that Brendan Shea gave me when we were at the trucker convoy together in Ottawa. I wore this thing around like a cape for a good period of time there. And I'm happy to report that it made it home safe. Good to see you,
and
brother.
you've both been added to a new list because of the red ensign.
Yeah, honestly, it's well, I mean, it's everything about being Canadian, and everything that ever made us great in the first place seems to be under attack, right?
Yeah, 100%. We shouldn't digress too far. So much was going on in that video. Man, the threatening to double the fine to 50 grand was kind of interesting, I thought.
Yeah.
Is that even a thing? Can you do that? Like,
I don't think so. I didn't think so at the time. Even when he said it, I was like, yeah, that's
kind of tongue in cheek. It's just he really was trying to convince you not to.
Yeah, and it helps to understand like they have a job to do. So these are the kinds of things that they're kind of expected to say. Like they're supposed to try to deter me from committing the act in the first place, and so they put forward that kind of earnest effort, so that they're above scrutiny, or they're above reproach.
I thought they handled it very professionally, honestly, as far as these things go. We've seen so many videos of things going sideways with various kinds of levels of law enforcement or government officials or whoever it may be. You went in and were trying to be above reproach, and I think they were kind of doing the same thing. So I think at least in that sense, they should be commended for that. They did their job the way they're supposed to.
Yeah, and just to be clear, like when he threatened to double my fine, I didn't have my camera out at that time. I was just recording the audio, and I didn't tell them about that part.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean that's how they were behaving when there were no cameras on them. Okay. For all they knew, like it was just me coming in there, and nobody was ever going to hear what they said. So
and it was consistent throughout the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I was quite pleased, and the effort here that I'm engaged in is to try to, well, it's twofold. Like number one, obviously, I'm really engaged on social media right now because I want to raise a lot of public awareness about this. If it does go international, I think that would be ideal if we could get international influencers, Americans, even American politicians, perhaps. Commenting about what is going on in Canada right now. I think that works in our favor. And also, we've seen a lot of bad precedents set in the courtrooms over the course of the last several years. So I think it also works in our favor that the judges feel like they're being scrutinized, like, all eyes are going to be on them, and people are going to be combing through these decisions. And that's how you end up with something like a Mosley decision. So, I think that probably works in our favor as well.
The Mosley decision would be about the Emergencies Act being what was unjustified, something unconstitutional, three use ultra vires. So I mean that was a big decision. And like people are always, they'll give you a hard time about how you try to fight things, right? And they'll say, well, we have law in Canada, we have rule of law. I'd like to believe that we do have rule of law still, hopefully. If we're going to go about doing that, these things need to be challenged. If what at least to me appears to be a massive overreach and infringement on constitution, on constitutional rights, if these aren't challenged and they can't ever get to a point where they're adjudicated, then what recourse do we have, right? We've been through this with the Emergencies Act during the convoy. There's been edicts before put on the one that kept you out of the woods before, and you tried to go through all that the right way, spend how much of your time and effort and sanity trying to learn how to fight the government and go about doing this the right way, only to be told that you weren't aggrieved enough. So you live and learn, right? And they're already pushing this again. It's climate this time, but these words for public safety are being thrown around like crazy. They're being used to shut down Christian worship. They're being used to silence all kinds of people. So, it needs to be challenged, and I commend you for finding a way to do it. And I think doing it in an avenue that could work and the right way.
Thanks, bro. Yeah, I appreciate it. And I know I'm kind of laughing at it. It's because I'm watching myself. Like when I watch myself like that, I just have to laugh because I hear myself talking and I'm like, wow, I sound like that. So it's pretty funny for me. But yeah, I mean, I try to have a little bit of a good time, you know, while I'm engaged. Like, oh, victim fees, okay, you know, stuff like that. Like just the absurdity of the situation. I try to kind of focus on that, and I think it helps. And James Q is here. James is one of my homies from Cape Breton, and he says, we are the ones who live in the woods. I'm like, yeah, exactly. That was the point of the first video. Like when I'm going around saying, this is the woods, this is not the woods. Nova Scotia is the woods, genius. Tim Houston. Nova Scotia is the woods. We all live in the woods. So you know, the whole thing is freaking absurd.
Yeah, well, yeah. The absurdity. I mean, and it's on purpose, right? But the whole woods things, right? Like you have been doing this. You know, a lot of people come out and they say, well, all these right wing, like they call it, insert ad hominem, whatever you will. You know, Jeff never goes out in the woods. He doesn't care about the woods. These guys don't care about the woods. Like, do they know anything about us? Like you're out every day for the last, like, I know you a little bit. I follow you or whatnot, but I see you posting and doing like videos in the woods with your dog, like every single day. Same thing, right? One day you go out and you're met by caution tape telling you you're a fire risk. Like, man, of
Yeah,
all the
just
people
like my social media feed, right? Like,
yeah, exactly. Well, and the same thing of like, well, you know, you're putting people in danger and whatnot. And if shit was to hit the fan, man, there's you'd be a guy I'd want around, let's say.
well, I tell you what, I did a video. The last one I didn't have time to do one today, I'm afraid, because I was, you know, hitting the interview circuit right away. But the last video I did, the walk and talk with the dog, I was talking about the guy who set the biggest of the Nova Scotia wildfires in 2023. That was the one in Barrington. Now he's a 22-year-old. So what is this? Dalton, I think. So I'm kind of looking at it like he's probably a climate radical who's been victimized by our education system, but at the same time, he's a grown ass man and he's got to, you know, take responsibility and do the crime to the time, that kind of thing. But he was only ever charged with setting a fire on private property without permission, failing to take steps from preventing that fire from spreading, and leaving that fire unattended. That sure sounds like arson to me. So I would be very interested in knowing why he was not charged with arson. You know, if you really want to prevent wildfires, then you should prosecute left-wing climate zealot eco-terrorists to the full extent of the law, Tim Houston, not crack down on the rest of us who didn't do anything wrong. He's out on bail awaiting sentencing, I believe, and I'm going to be very curious to know like how stiff a sentence he gets, especially since we saw that guy in Saskatchewan, the firefighter. He lit like 30 fires and got probation. Probation and community service, like not even time in jail. And I got it.
So that's absolutely wild. The guy in out east, then he wasn't charged with arson at all. Then,
yeah,
that's absolutely nuts. And I mean this. I think these kinds of things actually come into play too with the legality. If we have law on the books and preventions that could be taken that are reasonable, and they aren't being taken, then how do they enact something far more unreasonable?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think I might run into trouble, like, I guess, with the legal argument because the Nova Scotia Forests Act is provincial, and this is a proclamation issued under it that I've defied. But arson would be a criminal code offense, so it's federal, right? So
yeah, so I heard that in the actually in the video we just watched as well. So it's a, how do they word it there? A summary. Like a summary offense? Is that what it is? Or, is it a fine? Is it criminal? Is how does that work?
It's a violation of the proclamation that's issued under Section 25.1 of the Nova Scotia Forests Act. And 25.1 basically says that the minister can do whatever the hell he wants And I mean, I can remember when this came up the last time, they were standing on that in court, and I was like, I'm pretty sure they mean that he can do whatever he wants within the confines of our Constitution. But
I would
the Crown,
think.
yeah, the Crown didn't seem to be arguing that, though. They seem to think that, you know, he's a god. He's like a state god or something.
Yeah.
And
I mean, and
So-
this has kind of become par for the course, like at all levels of government. We have, you know, the federal government officials that just completely ignore the Constitution, that have rulings go against them and just ignore the rulings. You know, and if these things aren't challenged, like it doesn't seem, at least so far, that we have any kind of recourse. We certainly don't have a way to stop or prevent this in real time. Like if there's something that's, you know, such an over